everyone. Welcome back. This is the Games Revealed channel, and I am James and also the Brink. And I just wanted to talk about something that I've been more and more excited about and I was hoping for. And it's been on, I think, a lot of people's minds, probably on yours too. The potential Xbox gaming handheld. Now, there were lots of rumors coming into the Xbox games showcase, and now we got just a slightly cheaper Xbox Series X, which is fine, I guess. It's not what we wanted. We wanted to shove that Series S into a handheld. But you may remember the recent Xbox Games Showcase. We were all eagerly waiting for any news about an Xbox handheld, but unfortunately we didn't get anything. However, with all the rumors that have been flying around recently, I would personally be very surprised if we didn't see an Xbox handheld hit the market next year. Something that many of us have been hoping for, and given the current trends, it doesn't seem like such far off reality. We can get into speculations here towards the end. It'll be a little bit of the bonus of this short video, but I think Xbox is onto something. The problem is their interface ready for it, whether it be Windows or Xbox. So now the easiest way for them to get an Xbox handheld would be to take the Series S and the Steam Deck gutted out case shell and just merge them. Make a baby. Make an Xbox handheld baby. A green little freak. But I think that they could, like, with the tech nowadays, with the way the APUs, some of the die shrinkage and all that, I think AMD could pretty much take a Series S and slap it into a handheld and call it a day. In the sense of what really I bet Xbox and Microsoft are really wondering is, should they enter the market and kind of probably hurt any other device maker out there, which they usually work with. But at the same time, we have proof from the Surface laptops that they do come out with their own hardware. And I will have to say, the Surface laptops are awesome. Albeit Windows was a little bit in the way sometimes, they were still awesome. And so they've been in the hardware. They can make small devices that can play. I'm very generous. They can play games, just it was Intel based typically, and so not very well. But if they use the AMD APU that they have at hand, especially the one that was created with AMD for this, like the Series S, shrunk that die down, they could upgrade it and go with a bunch of new tech with what AMD's coming out with this year and next year. That would probably be the smartest way. I'm just saying that one way or another, I think they could get to a handheld fairly easily and have it be about as powerful as a Series S, which is a really big deal. And so, and make it compatible with all the Xbox games out there on the digital marketplace. Along with the Xbox Game Pass, this would be the thing to beat out even Steam Deck potentially. And I'm a huge Steam Deck fan. This channel's a huge Steam Deck fan. I mean, a lot of us also like the Ally. We like the Legion Go. We like gaming on the go. And so with the Xbox handheld, the Game Pass alone is a big deal. And it's not compatible with the Steam Deck in a very easy to use manner. You typically have to go into Windows. You have to set up Windows on it. So what would the specs be on this thing? Would they be similar to an Xbox Series S? I can't remember the exact specs on it, but I believe it's 12 to 16 gigs of RAM, which is shared RAM with like the newer RAM specs. I could see it. If they came out with one, I bet you it's going to be similar to like a 12 to 16 gigabyte RAM based Series S, and which the T-flops on that I think are higher than the last generation. But they're definitely like 2 or 3 T-flops lower than the Series X. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on all this. It could be half, I don't know. But all I know is it has caused some issues with making, like, some of the game developers and all that have not really liked supporting Series S and Series X. But at the end of the day, they're doing it. So why not make the handheld based off the Series S? And they don't have to really do anything else and they have a huge game library ready for it. Now, that's if they want to use the Xbox operating system and just do Xbox handheld. Now, if they want to go a different weird route that would greatly increase the amount of games that you could play on it, you could go the Windows route, and that would force them to make a good Windows handheld experience for once. Because right now we're relying on third parties, and they're doing a decent enough job like the Ally, but Legion Go is a no-go when it comes to UI. It's just not a good experience in my opinion. So there's a lot of potential here, and there's two different routes that Microsoft could go: the Windows-based, the Xbox-based for a handheld. I think we know, probably pretty sure, that they're going to go the Xbox route. I don't think they're going to have to change almost anything if they go that route. All they have to do is make sure the hardware is good, make sure that it feels like an Xbox controller in your hand on the go, and just smooth out the process. Make it more of a smooth process than Steam Deck, which I know some of you people won't like me saying this, but I do think they're going to do. They could do that. They could make a better experience than the Steam Deck with Xbox, because they've had a decade plus of UI, UX development for systems. And the Xbox, the UI probably would be good enough to shrink down into a handheld anyways. But let's get past the realism, because that's probably what would happen. A Series S being jammed into a handheld. And before you say, oh, overheating, oh, it'd be smaller. Like I said, die shrinkage, like the chipsets being smaller, they could redesign it in some form or fashion to be similar to a Series S, or they could even go different. Like these APUs from AMD are very similar, so the drivers wouldn't be that crazy. The ability to have them work, I just don't see that being that big a deal, as long as they can hit similar marks to the Series S on the frame rate and performance, that is. But what I would like to see, and let me know in the comments too, what you would want to see with an Xbox handheld, which direction and all this. I want to see an 8-inch screen, first and foremost. I want to see at least a 60-watt battery. I will settle for no less than that with the Xbox. I think anything less nowadays is just starting to get a little, just not enough, right? A 60-watt. 80 would be beautiful, and we know that the Ally X didn't add much more bulk to get an 80 in there, so an 80 is what I'd want, but I'll settle for a 60. And then the OLED screen, I think, is a must nowadays. I think we've kind of gotten to that point where we're going over the edge, and pretty much anything that's not coming out with an OLED, it's kind of dead on arrival a little bit when it comes to competition. It's getting to that point. I think 2024 we'll see the end of non-OLED handhelds. I think starting next year, pretty much everything will be OLED. And partially because there's so many devices coming out, it drives up demand, which drives down the cost typically. And so that's usually how standards are going. That's why we don't have a CRT handheld, right? Right? They do have CRT portable TVs and stuff back in the day, but I don't think we want to carry around one of those things. And the power consumption on those things, what else? I think 24 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 year of free Game Pass, which they do that anyways. A lot of times they'll give away like 3 months or something like that of Game Pass. But I think if they did like a Game Pass for a year, and they really smoothed out the Wi-Fi connection to make it so that you could play off your computer or your Xbox, would be a huge benefit. So it would kind of battle against the Portal from PlayStation. And I'm sure I'm missing something on this. The controls, as long as they have them as good as the Xbox controlled, I'm sold. I already like the Xbox controller a ton. I think the PS5 just is a little bit better in some ways, but I do think the Xbox controller is a little bit more comfortable in some ways. So that's my wish list. I mean, obviously, you need to have a good USB selection, USB 4, 2 of them, SD card slot in the right spot, Ally, and a little jab at Ally. But that's it. I want to know what you think, and that is what I think. And if you want, check out the description below. It has all the goodies down there that will either help you or help me, and that's how we play, baby. And wow, I've been too sassy in this video. I need to end this now, so peace out, guys. Later.